Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Von Duprin number 970488 US10B. This is a replacement thumb piece for the 608 880 TPR trim. I got to tell you, this is for a TP trim, thumb piece trim. If you have to replace this and it's not been vandalized or intentionally destroyed, you must have decades of use. And I've seen it. I've seen parts in Von Duprin devices that have to be replaced. They didn't fail. They're not defective. There are decades of use, millions of cycles on the hardware, to literally the point where the material itself has microscopic, layer by layer, eroded away over the years. And, you know, I see, if that's the case with this, I potentially see replacing this as a, you know, as an accomplishment. It's a testament to the integrity of the Von Duprin exit device line. There's no doubt about that. So this is a replacement thumb piece for their TP trim. Obviously, it's going to be pinned, you know, and this is going to certainly activate the device that you're working on. Okay, this is in the 10B finish, US10B. I would imagine that this is probably probably cast bronze, and I would probably call it 613 because it's made of bronze. I don't know the base material, but that's my guess. It's certainly non-ferrous. Now, there is a link below this video to some extended description information. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a look at that. You know, before we do that, let's take some basic dimensional properties. Overall length of the unit, about 5 1/8. From the center line of the point where it's going to be pinned in the back of the trim to the tip of the thumb piece, about 2 1/4 inch. Okay, let's switch to that screen view now. So this is the item that we're looking at here, and possibly will look different by the time you're seeing this video. Here is a narrow escutcheon thumb piece trim. Okay, shows what it's looking like in the overall structure. Now there's a trim manual here, and that's the part where we're going to dig deeper. Copy the part number, then let's open up that manual, and then we can do a find function, Control F, and search, paste that part number, then we'll find it. These are the trims that it's going to work in. That 880 series, you know, trim, you're going to see, of course, in your 88 series devices. And that will allow you to get to the trim manual and find all of the instances where it occurs. Okay, it's important, in my opinion, when you're an exit device manufacturer such as Von Duprin is, king of the hill, in my opinion. You know, a lot of people make really good exit devices, but I just am subjectively partial to Von Duprin for a number of reasons. Having the documentation published is a cornerstone in being a very much in demand and highly preferred manufacturer of hardware, especially exit devices here. So we'll find all the instances where it occurs, and it will show up not only in that 88 material, but in the 990 material as well, the 990 TP. Okay, so what they're showing us here is you have your description. It tells you that for the assembly, for these trims, you require a quantity of 1. That's nice to have that quantity, and while I scroll through and look at the different tables, it's always 1 that I have seen so far, but that may not be the case. It's nice to be able to be told, for this, 2 are required. Well, there's only 1 thumb piece required, but there are parts breakdowns where you'll see that quantity change. If there's an X here, you have to tell them the finish. This happens to be, of course, US10B oil rub bronze. Okay. What's good about this document, in addition to giving you supporting information regarding the item you're searching, well, let's say that, you know, in this, you know, vandalism or whatever occurred or something else is worn out, we also need these lock mounting studs or these handle mounting studs. There you go. There's the, you know, the reference to it. Now, I don't see those mentioned, but they certainly are somewhere. In fact, that part is, I believe, mentioned elsewhere in the Von Duprin universe. Yeah, and as I scrolled up a little bit in the catalog, part number 2 is what that is. 880 Series Hex Stud is what that's called. So, not uncommon to sell those either. Don't remember if I've ever sold a Thumbpiece. But when you're rebuilding a trim, you know, it's nice to be able to pull up all of the information necessary. Now, the item that we're looking at here, there's a link to the manufacturer's page. From there, you can pull up not only all of the Von Duprin products that we sell, okay, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Several encyclopedic documents are here as well, such as common part manual, installation instruction, templates, guide to selecting an electric strike, etc. Lots of very interesting information is here. Okay, let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, it's a replacement part used on the trims from the trim manual. The name Von Duprin is synonymous with incredibly high quality hardware. There's to be no doubt about that, and I certainly don't think that I would be hard-pressed to argue that with other people in the industry professionals, whether you be an architect or a specifier, a detailer, an estimator, an installer, a distributor, someone involved in technical support. But it's not only just really great quality material. Their people are phenomenal. Without exception, every single time that there's a technical question that comes up, and they do, because you're dealing with, you know, as the term was once said to me by a very long-term hardware rep, a lifetime spent representing architectural hardware manufacturers. What we do isn't high-tech, but it's highly technical. And that's true. It's not, you know, it's not rocket science, or it's not heart surgery, but there are technical aspects to this, and being able to lean on, bring into the conversation, leverage the expertise at the factory is required to be able to successfully navigate within the, you know, the world of exit devices with Von Duprin. And their people are full participants in the conversation. They act as if they're partners. And without that, you know, you just wouldn't be as successful. The nice thing about Von Duprin is you don't often have to contact the factory. The only time when you don't is when there's something that's, I can't think of an example, but an application that comes up that's just not published. And often the answer is, yes, we've all here talked about that, and we're thinking about this or that, and here's how that works. So they've encountered everything, and they do a great job publishing that data. Any questions on the Von Duprin 970488 US10B replacement thumb piece or any other Von Duprin product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.